This is a CBC podcast.
CPA 21, how do you read?
I really want to know what happened, and it makes me extraordinarily angry that it's always been a big secret.
Uncover Bomb on Board, investigating the biggest unsolved mass murder in Canada, CP Flight 21.
Get the Uncover podcast for free on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts.
Available now.
Hey Garden City, are you ready for a bloomin' good time? From St. Catharines, Ontario, it's The Debaters! The Debaters, where comedians fight with facts and funny, and this audience picks the winner. Now, here's a man who always comes up smelling like a rose, Steve Patterson.
Hey! Hello, Canada! Hello, St. Catharines. Welcome back to The Debaters. It is great to be here in St. Catharines. And people may not know this from other parts of the country, but this is the hometown of Canada's polka king, Walter Ostanak. Let's give him a shout out. Walter Ostanak still makes his home here. I don't know if we have any Ostamaniacs in the crowd. Yes, we have all of them. Along with Jimmy Sturr, Ostanak has dominated the polka Grammys since their inception. Can you imagine if those two formed a polka supergroup? It would be like when Elton John and Billy Joel toured together. Or if U2 started touring with Fleetwood Mac. Or if Drake toured with a clone of Drake. We took a chance and did a Drake joke for a CBC radio audience. Only one man understood who we were talking about. Now, are you ready to meet two legendary debaters? This is going to be a treat. We got two of our best going head to head. No need to despair. The darkest hour is just before the Sean. Here he is, Sean Cullen, everybody. Sean Cullen, making his way to the podium to my right. And this next debater's got a can-do, Ron, can-do, Ron attitude. It's Ron Sparks. Ron Sparks. Making his way to my left. This is a great topic for St. Catharines because we're right here in the Niagara region. Is a trip to Niagara Falls really worth it? Let's figure this out once and for all. Now, let's be very clear. There's the city and then there are the falls themselves. One of two Canadian entries in the 7 Natural Wonders of North America, according to 7naturalwonders.org. They narrowly beat out the Sinkhole in Oxford, Nova Scotia, and Garbage Hill in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Those are both real places, and they are breathtaking. Seriously, if you find yourself at either of those wondrous attractions, you're going to want to hold your breath. But enough about where we aren't. Let's talk about where we are. Whereas the drive can be long and the downtown maybe a bit tacky, be it resolved, it's not worth the trip to Niagara Falls. Ron, you arguing for this, please. You have 2 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. Niagara Falls is not the great place we remember. It hurts me to say it, but it is no longer worth visiting that city. The drive is too long, even if it's just down the highway in the off-season on a day with terrible weather. Whenever you think, hey, this is probably an easy day to go, nope. The second you get on the road, you realize 40,000 other people had the same bright idea. Then it's welcome to gridlock hell for the next 5 hours, but hey, it's all worth it because pretty soon you'll be paying way too much for crap. On the plus side, though, Niagara Falls does have a population of 80,000, and it's one of the world's busiest tourist cities, so obviously they had the foresight to put in, 35 parking spots. So even if you do somehow make it there alive, you'll just circle the streets endlessly until you drive over the edge of the gorge in a fit of well-deserved road rage. And if you think that city's romantic, it's not. Think about it. Nothing that close to Buffalo is romantic. Buffalo is where hope and sports teams go to die. The romantic honeymoon destination Niagara Falls we all fondly remember is a thing of the past. It's become a miserable, tacky, overdeveloped tourist trap. Even then, at least it was still affordable, but that's no longer true either. Where else do you have to pay $20 for a $10 Denny's burger that still tastes like it's only worth $3? Now, people should not go to Niagara Falls to get married. They should go there to get divorced.
Ron Sparks, everybody. Some sobering thoughts on why Niagara Falls is not worth it. Thank you, Ron. Now, to tell us why he thinks Niagara Falls never Niagara fails, here's the incomparable wonder of the world himself, Sean Cullen.
Yes. Is there any more iconic landmark in this country than Niagara Falls? What other place makes people want to violently marry each other? Immediately. And the sheer amount of gushing water, gushing from the escarpment, makes you want to spontaneously urinate. Oh, but there's so much more than the falls themselves, as if you really needed it. Niagara is an inspiration for entrepreneurs. So many great fudge makers are drawn to this mecca of the fudge maker's art. And not just the fudge makers, the finest mini golf course designers bring their ingenuity and windmill manufacturing knowledge to bear for you. And the culture. Where else can you see such a variety of museums? I need to see the shoes of the world's tallest man. Where else can I see the wax effigies crafted by Louis Tussaud, the stupid, less skilled nephew of Madame Tussaud, whose wax effigies look not quite exactly right, ever. I want to see a wax replica of Jimi Hendrix that looks like Will Smith. And the cuisine. Who wouldn't want to enjoy a Whopper at the Burger King with Frankenstein looming over them? We want that. We all want it. Finally, while the falls roar magnificently in the background, you can lose your children's inheritance at the Casino Niagara. Quiet, kids! Stop crying! We're at Niagara Falls. Now let's go see the sad whales at Marineland. In Niagara Falls, Ontario, such an amazing place to go. The dolphins dance 'cause we force them to dance. Everyone loves Marineland. Niagara Falls, a glittering jewel. Take the whole family. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Sean Cullen, ladies and gentlemen, doing what only Sean can, reminding us of what's there, but seeing it in a way we've never seen it before. It is time now for the bare knuckle round. We are debating if a trip to Niagara Falls is worth it. Be a barrel of laughs as you walk a bit of a tightrope between laughs and logic. You'll need horseshoes up your butt to keep your head above water while maintaining a powerful flow between each of you. Probably could have phrased that better. Otherwise, it could put you over the edge. Damn, this is a good topic. Let's go.
Why would anyone want to go to a place this dangerous? By 2011, more than 5,000 people died going over the falls. 40 people a year still die that way. Most of those are suicides, and most of those people's last words were, "I'd rather jump over the falls than continue to pay these prices."
I think those people probably would have done it no matter where they were, but isn't it more exciting to go over the falls? But I love so many things about Niagara Falls. The fact that there's two falls, one crappy one and one amazing one. And then there's that weird boat that's half sunk, halfway up the river, that no one's bothered to clean away. I love that about that city. Their lack of civic pride.
So you love the discarded river garbage.
I love discarded
Okay.
river garbage. That was my nickname in high school.
Okay, that's the bare knuckle round, everybody. It is time now for the firing line. In my hand, I have a list of questions on whether or not a trip to Niagara Falls is worth it, brought to you by Plastic Ponchos. Plastic Ponchos. A raincoat's cool, but these are slicker.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The performer Charles Blondin, who accomplished numerous tightrope crossings of the gorge in Niagara during the mid-1800s, may be referred to as what? Ron.
Dead.
That is technically true. It's one official point. Sean Cullen.
Old monkey foot.
Yes, I guess that's also possible. He's a tightrope walker, which apparently is a funambulist.
He ambles in a fun way.
Yeah. Every year, the falls themselves do what? Sean?
Promise to stop drinking.
Ron?
Their taxes.
I did not know that. The actual answer, every year the falls erode about 1 inch.
Yeah, I have that problem, too.
Okay, that's the firing line, everybody. It's just about time for our theater audience to pick a winner, but first, here again to tell us why he loves a trip to the falls, warts and all, here's comedic wonder, Sean Cullen.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure, it's kitschy. Sure, there's no parking. Sure, it's a little bit crappy. Sure, there's stupid attractions. Horrible food. Sure, we should all be ashamed of what we've done to a beautiful natural landmark. Wah, wah, wah. But if you just go to Niagara Falls and put down your corn dog for a second, walk to the falls and look at that beautiful cataract, go for a ride in the Maid of the Mist, see the falls from below and the billowing spray soaking your face. It'll fill you with delight. Then go behind the Falls View Hotel at around dusk and the man of the mist will spray you with his misty cloud. And when that's all done, you can go eat chicken fingers in a restaurant shaped like a flying saucer. There's no one on earth where these delights are at your fingertips except Niagara Falls. Visit Niagara today.
Sean Cullen. Now, here again to tell us that the falls are all wet and hopefully not elaborate on the man of the mist. Here is the mighty, constantly eroding Ron Sparks.
Niagara Falls is one of the world's largest and most beautiful waterfalls. A natural wonder of fresh, cool water, using its awesome and unceasing power to carve its way over millennia to its home in the ocean, leaving behind a pristine landscape, an ancient vision of God's infinite perfection that cannot be appreciated with mere words. How could we possibly improve upon the flawless majesty of Niagara Falls? Oh, I know. How about glow-in-the-dark rock and roll dinosaur mini golf? How about a funhouse where they don't clean the mirrors? And a Wild West coaster covered in kids' sticky soda, cotton candy, and vomit? How about a mountain of plastic garbage big enough to fill the gorge itself? There's no point trying to improve upon perfection. By trying to do just that, they have ruined Niagara Falls. Also, like I said, it's super expensive.
Rod Sparks says Niagara Falls is not worth it. Sean Cullen says it's worth every mystifying penny. It is up to the audience to pick a winner. By applause, who fell for Sean's totally pro Niagara Falls funny? Sean Cullen. Lot of love here for Sean. And who thinks Ron's anti-Falls facts were the more fantastic? Ron Sparks. It's pretty close. It is pretty close, but I think just by a few decibels, I gotta give this one to Sean Cullen. Niagara Falls is still worth it, everybody. A big hand for Sean Cullen and Ron Sparks. Well, that's all for this week. I'm Steve Patterson saying if you haven't been to Niagara Falls recently, visit. You won't regret it, or maybe you will, but I won't be there, so I'm fine with it. I'll argue with you again soon, Canada. Good night.
Hey, Debaters fans, we have a podcast. Subscribe today to have episodes and bonus content sent straight to your device. Go to cbc.ca/thedebaters for more. Now, back to Steve Patterson.
Hey, St. Catharines, are you ready to meet your next pair of debaters? Let's do this. When people talk about corn, this comic's all ears. It's Graham Clark. Graham Clark, one of our finest. And this crafty comedian's jokes cut like a knife and will keep you in stitches. It's Kate Davis. Kate Davis, coming on out, riling up the crowd. She is ready. Let's get right into this, guys. Your topic involves first dates. First dates, are they a good time? Every couple goes on a first date. When you think about it, the first date was Adam and Eve, and that had to be tough. They both had to decide which leaf to wear. Adam asked Eve, "How will I recognize you?" And Eve answered, "I was once your rib." They settled on apple picking as an activity, and things were going well until Adam's drunk friend Snake showed up, and the rest, as they say, is present-day America. But back to these fine Canadian comedians' date with this debate. So, whereas it could be the beginning of something special, be it resolved, there's nothing more fun than a first date. Kate, you are arguing for this, please. You have 2 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. Of course, there is nothing more fun than a first date. I should know. I've been married to the same man now for 28 years. Yeah, and it's been downhill from there. It goes from being like, oh my God, I think I found my soulmate, to oh my God, I have a cellmate. There's a different standard on a first date. Their hair and clothes are nice. Their breathing doesn't drive you crazy yet. And no one, Steve, no one is letting one rip. You don't argue about facts or logic on a first date or driving directions. You laugh at all their dumb jokes like, my 5-year plan is to avoid a career at all costs. Then you realize it's true. There are so many fun things to do on a first date. You can do a cooking class, figure out if he's a mama's boy. Bowling lets you know if he's a good sport. I mean, if he starts screaming, you're a loser, probably not your man. Lastly, there's nothing more fun than a first date because life hasn't kicked in yet. Things you'll never hear on a first date would be like, hey, hope you don't mind, we're eating at my mom's tonight. Hey, I'm pregnant. You're never going to hear that on a first date. And that is why there is nothing more fun than a first date. Thank you.
Kate Davis with our first argument on behalf of First Dates. Thank you, Kate. Now, to tell us why the last thing he wants to do is a first date, it's romantic raconteur, Graham Clark.
Thank you. Thank you. First dates. Nope.
Graham Clark.
Here's a quick list of things that are more fun than a first date. An audit. Getting honey in your beard. Golfing sober. Microwaving fish. It goes on and on and on. If we go out for dinner, do I order French fries or do I go for the salad? Which guy do I want to portray that I am? The unhealthy slob or the healthy slob? Because it's gonna be slob no matter what. It's just the way my shirt hangs off my gut. If I order salad and our relationship takes off, then I'll never be able to eat French fries again. She'll be like, you know what I liked about you on our first date? That you ordered salad. Years later, I'm sneaking out behind the garbage can to eat French fries like a raccoon. Why would anyone bother with a first date in the era of Netflix and chill? I say get rid of the one part and get right to the good stuff. Netflix, right? And with my patented invention, the relationship filter, you can watch all by yourself. How it works is you turn on a movie, then you turn on relationship filter, and then just at a certain point in the movie, a voice comes on and goes, who's that person? First dates are awful and, thanks to me, an outmoded thing of the past. Thank you.
Graham Clark. Yeah. Graham Clark is anti-first date. It is time now for the firing line. In my hand, I have a list of questions on first dates brought to you by Ontario's top matchmaking and t-shirt service for smartasses. I'm with Cupid. 2 people liked it. The other ones have those shirts at home, and 1 couple's wearing it here tonight. The 2004 Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore movie 50 First Dates was originally called what? Graham?
It was called 50 Refunds, Please.
That crowd has given you 1.5 points for that. Kate?
Yeah, it's called 50 Shades of Grey. Yay! Actually, Steve, I learned to tie myself up just so I don't have to touch my husband.
Not really an answer to this question, but helpful information. The actual answer, the Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore movie 50 First Dates, was originally called 50 First Kisses, but then Drew would not kiss Adam that many times. In the early 1900s, a proper first date always included what? Kate?
Syphilis.
Ah, yes, the Greek god of good times. Incorrect. In the early 1900s, a proper first date always included a chaperone. Chaperone. According to a survey conducted by dating site Match.com, 48% of women do what before a first date? Graham?
Cancel, right?
Right? Wow. That is a 4-point answer for this crowd. No, Match.com says 48% of women research their date on Facebook before a first date. The other 52% not aware of that technology. That is the firing line, everybody. All right. We are getting very close to time for our beautiful St. Catharines Theatre audience to pick a winner. But first, here again to tell us why a first date is never great, it's the not always redatable Graham Clark.
Thank you. First dates are stressful on the man. In a heterosexual dating situation, the man must always pay. And if he does it with all dimes, he looks weird. And I have to take my date someplace nice. Because we're not all gorgeous like Kate. Some of us look like the mascot for the Philadelphia Flyers. First dates are especially stressful on me because I put out on the first date. The whole date I'm wondering, should I oil myself up before dessert? Should I have oiled myself up earlier and ruined my shirt? How long have I been sitting here silently wondering these things? Where did she go? The only thing I don't question is my resolve that first dates are stinkeroo. Thank you.
Graham Clark. Graham Clark is anti-first date. He has a lot of support. Thank you for that gritty closing argument. Now, here again to tell us that she and first dates are a match made in heaven, it's the always heavenly Kate Davis.
Thank you. We put my 78-year-old mother on Plenty of Fish. Yeah, some of you might know her. She takes all her dates to the same restaurant. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna think you're an old hooker. She says there's nothing more fun, exciting, or romantic than a tummy-tingling first kiss on a first date. Because she says if the kiss isn't happening, then on to the next. And hopefully next time I won't lose my teeth. Anyway, first dates give my mom so much happiness. How dare Graham even think about denying an elderly woman such joy? Thank you.
Kate Davis. Kate Davis says first dates are fabulous. Graham Clark says the opposite. Now it's time to find out who's won this thing. There you have it, audience. It is up to you to pick the winner by applause. Who thinks that Kate's first date debate was first rate? Kate Davis. Okay. Some nice support for Kate there. And who thinks Graham's anti-first date diatribe dominated this one? Graham Clark. Okay. The crowd has spoken, and they are anti-first date. The winner is Graham Clark. Big hand for Graham Clark and Kate Davis, everybody. Well, that's all for this week. I'm Steve Patterson saying if you're listening to this show while on a first date, you both have excellent taste in comedy. That's a good start. I'll argue with you again soon, Canada. Good night.
The Debaters, created by Richard Side. Produced this week by Graham Clark, Nicole Callender, and Josh Bailey. Technical production by John McLean and Kyle Katasowicz. Executive producer of CBC Radio Comedy is Tracy Rideout. And thanks to Chris Locke for his contributions and everyone at the First Ontario Performing Arts Centre in St. Catharines. Hey Toronto, The Debaters is coming to you on March 5th. For details, visit our website. We're cbc.ca/thedebaters.
For more CBC podcasts, go to cbc.ca/podcasts.